Hello YouTube, this is John J57. I'm here to show off my motorized bike. This has been about 2 years in the making. No, maybe just a year. I like to exaggerate. So I'm going to go over all the parts really quick, and then we'll go over everything, how it runs, and all that garbage. So we got here is your YZ65 dirt bike pipe. I got it extended, welded at the front to machine here. And then I attached a standard muffler. This is by far the quietest muffler you can get for your motorized bike. If you have access to a welder, go ahead and weld that up. I just use this little rubber pipe. This is the 500 degree temperature pipe. Never really had a problem with it. I've had it on there for around 6 months. Looks perfect. I've taken it off a couple times. It doesn't look melted on the inside or anything, and it's perfect. This is by far the quietest pipe you will ever find for your motorized bicycle without it being a huge hassle. So if you have that, I recommend either sticking with the stock exhaust, or like I did, get a nice pipe with it, and then just add this after the banana, or not the banana, the oh man, it's been a while since I've done motorcycle stuff. This is the expansion chamber. So we got the 7cc millet head. You never want to go under 7cc unless you know what you're doing. It'll create too much compression. You'll wear off your cylinder walls. I actually even used a double base gasket on here just to bring the exhaust ports up and release compression a little bit more. The goal here was reliability and speed, not just be a speed demon. So we got right here, this is a broken pedal. It's $5. I've just been too lazy to replace it. Everything else I've kept up to date, but I mean, honestly, this doesn't bother me. I don't pedal the bike ever. I always use the motor. It's my go-to motorcycle to and from work due to the great mileage. Well, we have the reed valve. I have a ported piston that's been lightweight, so the vibrations are minimal. And I have a boost port added to the actual cylinder sleeve that I did myself with Dremel work. This is a lot of work. It is well worth it, and it's increased my low end a lot. I can start from a dead standstill, never having to pedal, and I also get up to 42 miles an hour, verified with my speedometer. I'll show you in a little bit. We have the 3-inch wide Kenda tires, front and rear, dual disc brakes. There's the tires. Dual disc brakes hooked up to a single lever. I alternated the wires, or the cords, the cables, so that the front brake attacks first, then the back brake second. That way you can lock up. You wouldn't lock up. I've never actually locked these brakes. I've never squeezed too hard. But you get on that front brake first and the back rear, because that's the more important brake. You want to hit that front brake first. So I got a little zip tied on mud flap. Doesn't affect anything. I just really like to keep myself clean. I don't like to diddle around with stuff getting up on my backside or anything during heavy rain. As you see, I've got both rear view mirrors on my clamp-ons. These are actually superbike clamp-ons. Just the way a superbike would have it. You have your angled, very aggressive style, and you actually ride it just like you would a superbike. It doesn't quite get the speed of a superbike, obviously, but you ride it exactly the same. You'll feel very at home on that kind of a bike compared to this. This is a 1-gallon tank, just a complete 1-gallon tank with a, it's an old moped. As you see, this is a Michigan tank with an old moped sticker on it, very old. I kept it on there because I think it's really cool, and I really like the orange, even though it's a little dinged up. I really like it. People say, oh wow, that's a Malaguti, and I go, no, it's custom, but it does fit the bill. I think people really like the fact that it's there. For anyone wondering, the moped tanks, they work with the stock petcock. And for anyone who doesn't know how this works, the halfway position is off, all the way top is on, and all the way bottom is also on. So you want to make sure you have it in the halfway position to lock out your fuel. And again, this is a Delorto, 14mm Shea carb. We got a jack shaft kit hooked up to a Atlas transmission in the back. It's a 7-speed bike. I don't remember the teeth arrangement, the cassette arrangement, but like I said, I can start from dead standstill, get up to 41, and I think a half miles an hour is my top speed. That wasn't downhill or anything. There's not a lot of hills going on around here. Then you have, this was pull start. I haven't put it in. I just put the cover on because I like the way the cover looks. I think it adds a little bit more girth to it. But it was a pull start. I had the pull start right here. I just never use it. I always kickstart the bike, which I'll show you how to do in a little bit. This is your clutch lever. So just like with anything else, you release your clutch, engine is engaged. Pull your clutch down, the engine is disengaged, and you're running on bicycle power. You can pedal this at the same time. You can pedal it all on its own, or you can run the engine all on its own. It's up to you. We got the motorcycle street fairing to keep the water off of both your odometer and you by yourself. It actually helps more than you'd imagine in the heavy rain. I'll give you another nice little front image there. The headlight does not work as of yet. I've been working at that. I have the LEDs that fit it. I have the wiring. I just need to put a battery in there. That's all I need, is a small enough battery that powers that headlight. Till the meantime, I have 2 backup lights, because even then I like to have backup battery lights in case something happens. And they've got standard mode and flasher mode, just in case. And that's what I use for my lighting during the night rides. Oh, what else is there? You got your rear reflectors, and I got side reflectors on here, just like a real motorcycle has. I haven't quite screwed these in all the way. That's why they move. Under a lot of riding, they slowly move forward. They don't move up or down. They just move a little bit forward, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I just like to have the side lighting. That's safer that way. I've got the banana seat with a small little bit. If you sit too far front, it divots down. I actually like it. I think it looks sleeker. And it's more comfortable. I think this part kind of gets into the groin a little bit too harshly. I think that's why it happened. But mostly you want to sit down here for a taller person. And then this is hooking up to 2 chainstay mounts, very stable mounts, to the banana seat to get around that giant rear fender. And all in all, that is my bike. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you how to fire it up. It's real simple. This works like a kickstart. Let's see if I can get you in on that. Okay, so we're going to do a cold start. Thing hasn't been turned on yet. So we're going to flip the fuel on. And what you want to do is you want to bring your pedal forward about halfway. So the pedal is actually right here on my side. This is my dominant side, so I always start here. I use my left foot. And what you want to do on this bike in particular is grab the seat. It's the same for every bike. I just have a bigger seat, so it's a little bit easier. You grab your handlebar where the clutch lever is. You release the clutch so the engine is engaged. Make sure your kickstand's up and your choke is on if it's cold. Choke is off if it's not cold, if you've run the bike before. Recently, rather. And then for me, to release the choke on this, throttle all the way up will release it automatically. But I'm going to put it back in the down position. Only after it's warmed up will I actually release the choke. So what you want to do is make sure your fuel's on. Like I said, pedal about halfway up. Put your foot on there. You grab the bike right here with your hand. You just lift that rear tire up. Make sure your choke's engaged. Or not your choke, your clutch. Your engine is engaged with the clutch. Grab your bike. Alright, so that's how the bike runs. As you see, it's got great throttle response. It actually runs a lot better when it warms up, but that's it cold. I think it's like 60 degrees outside right now, really humid. Technically, it needs to be updated to a 67. It's got a 66 in there right now, but it's not going to be a problem. It's just going to be a little bit more of a nuisance. Probably run a little bit warmer than most people would like during the summer. I definitely updated to a 67. And yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and I have an odometer hooked up right here, like I said. So let's put that LED on so you turn it on. There is the miles, 3,002. I just taked over. That's the temperature, 59 degrees. That's my max speed, 41.59. On average, I get about 35. Easy time cruising. That was my last trip to and back from work, 2.6 miles. That was my current mileage, which is 0 now. That's the time here, 8 p.m. And I don't know, I think that's like a timer that I somehow started here. And then, of course, it has the LED lighting that you can turn on so you can see it at night. 2, 3, 4. See, it's like 5 seconds you turn it off. And that, my friends, is my motorized bicycle. If you have any questions about this, always feel free to ask me on my YouTube, or if you're purchasing this from Craigslist, feel free to ask me through the text or email. I'll have a link to both In the description, the Craigslist if you're in my area, which is Springfield, Mass. Or if you're not in my area, you can just message me on YouTube if you have any kind of questions. Thank you very much. And that is it, guys.